Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Bleeding Crypto's Market Update. Today is Saturday, September 14th, 10:49 a.m. local time. I hope you're having a good day, morning, or afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Let me start off by giving my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. This is to be used for your fantasy paper trading only, for entertainment purposes only. All right, guys, so let's talk about our plan. This is the daily time frame, but I think today we're going to start with a different time frame. Today we're going to start with the hourly time frame for just a moment because I want you guys to recognize this. Actually, you know what? No, actually, let me do this. I'm gonna remove some things off the daily time frame that are no longer applicable. So as I remove them, you guys can understand why I'm removing them and what I'm removing, so that this way you can stay consistent on trying to learn from these videos, because if I remove things without telling you, then you won't understand why I removed them. First and foremost, we invalidated the macro lower high. I told you guys that we're looking at a downtrend, and what I'm looking for now is we're looking for a possible lower high and then a reversal down to my $51,500 target, because there's a 90% probability that we are going to hit that marker. Could we go lower than that? Yes, we could, but bare minimum, we will hit 51,500 with a 90% probability. So there's a 10% chance we don't, and I'll talk about that in a moment. So for right now, as you can see, we closed above that. So for right now, I'm removing the lower high, and we now have a confirmed uptrend. Now, we also talked about this harmonic pattern move here. We talked about this when we're on the 4-hour time frame, and I told you guys that these harmonic patterns are very accurate. However, to give me a little bit of a leeway, sometimes they fall a little bit under, sometimes they fall a little bit over. But in this case, look at this, guys. Look at the beauty. I want you to understand why I use the system that I use. Look, we went right up to it on this first try. We rejected, and then once again we hit it, and we rejected again. That is the beauty and the power of a harmonic pattern. These are tools that are very, very accurate. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that as well. Now, I also told you something that we're going to talk about right now. When we complete a harmonic pattern, we typically see a drawback. Okay, we see a retracement. A normal retracement is down to 618. So let's go ahead and go up here. We're going to talk about that. So here is, excuse me. Let me go to the 4-hour time frame. Actually, let me go. I'm going to remove this here, guys, as well, because we did hit plan. We did hit plan A. Plan A was to go up to that harmonic pattern, so we hit that. Plan B, that plan A was to hit here the harmonic pattern, and plan B was, in case that we didn't go up and we were going to go down, I need to have both plans. I need to be ready for the move to the upside, and I need to be ready for the move to the downside. That's why this was plan B. But plan A was still was in effect because of the harmonic pattern. How do I phrase it? For the harmonic pattern wasn't complete yet, so that's the best way to phrase it. It wasn't complete, so that was still valid. There was nothing had invalidated the harmonic pattern, so I needed to stick to that TA. But in the event that it wasn't going to complete, then this was plan B. So this did not happen. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this just so we don't crowd our chart. All right. So now, what I want to talk about is this. I want to talk about the drawdown from that harmonic pattern. So what we're going to see, what we normally see, is this. And we're going to talk about this as well, because this is super important right here. All right. Normally, after a harmonic pattern completion, we have this. We have a move down to here. In any other circumstance, guys, I would say this has a very strong possibility of hitting. But not today. But I want to explain to you why not. Because one of the phrases that I hate most of the time, that people like to use because they like to put their bias, their emotions in front of the technicals, is this time it's different. That is my pet peeve. When people say this time it's different, based on no TA, it's just their emotions. And it very, very rarely is different. Now, I said very rarely. Not 100% of the time. So when are the times where it's different? that's valid to use that phrase on scam pump weekends. I've been talking about scam pump weekends since you guys started following my video series. We talk about that every single weekend going into a weekend, that it doesn't happen 100% of the times, but it happens more often than not. And we are living through a scam pump weekend right now. And what accelerates that scam pump weekend is we have one of the biggest data-driven events happens 4 times a year, FOMOC. Okay, and we're actually approaching one that has the biggest implication to move the market, whether it's to the upside or whether it's to the downside, on Wednesday. So when you have a scam pump weekend with news following after, it's going to be an extended scam pump weekend. And what I mean by that is the normal scam pump weekend starts on Friday and then continues Friday at the end of New York business day. And then it'll continue until New York opens on Monday. And then we see the drawdown, and they take back everything that Asia did during the scam pump weekend. However, I don't believe that's going to happen. I believe we are going to continue to run higher and accelerate the amount of money that the market makers are going to make. And what I mean by that is, I don't know if I told you guys this or I shared it with my personal. Actually, no, I shared it with my personal. There's a metric that we use on how high things go before we see a drawdown, and I'm talking about with like, I'm not exaggerating, guys, with 95 to 99% accuracy. But again, I have to be respectful for the people who pay me for this information, my Discord members. So I'm not gonna talk about that there. Now that I thought about it, I didn't. That's why I didn't mention it here. In any case, that metric doesn't matter. But what matters right now is that we are within that scam pump weekend, and look at this. Here's another point. There's a medium line of the channel. You guys have heard me talk about this endlessly, and I show you. We go back for months. Let me show you. We talk about this endlessly, that this is a strong area of resistance, and most of the time we reject. Look, you can just look back at any time when we've come from the underside, what the effect is. Look, what the effect, and I told you, when we hit this will not be easy to clear. Look at that, right on cue. I'm talking about right to the dollar. Look at that rejection, right on the dollar. This is the type of price action and validation that hopefully gets you to say, you know what? I think this guy may know what he's talking about, and I'm going to give his $25 a month a Telegram a channel a chance. Look at the post that I put a little while ago on my timeline. One of the members that just joined in. He tells me that he's really grateful for all the information that I give them on my $25 a month channel, and he's signed up to many different channels and cancels right away because they're all full of shit. So it's really nice to hear people give you those type of compliments because it validates your hard work. Guys, I'm on vacation right now. You guys all know that. My wife's waiting for me to finish this so we can go out to the beach, and yet I still take the time to give you guys some information that may help you for your trades, and that's what I do. I do this for you guys. It's free. You can imagine what I do for my Telegram and my Discord, way above and beyond. My Discord, we're taking positions right now. We opened positions this morning already on my Telegram group. So hopefully, if you're in it and you listen to this, you guys know what those positions are. If you're not, come join and give us a try. Give me a try, better said. Moving forward, going back to what I was saying about this drawdown, I don't think this drawdown is going to happen this weekend. There's no reason for it to draw down on a scam pump weekend. We don't normally see this. A scam pump weekend means that we continue to go up irrationally. There's nothing rational about how we're going to move up. And again, I call it a scam pump weekend because no one is buying. You have to understand that. There's no retail buying this. This is just the exchanges getting you to do this, trapping you. There is currently $16 billion in long liquidation. They're going to continue to rise this. This is going to continue to rise. The normal behavior, we would have taken this out. You've seen before FOMOC, I've been talking about this. You see this go $6 billion to the green. What do? They wipe it out. We go $6 billion to the red. They wipe it out. We go back up $8 billion to the green. They come back and wipe it out. And I explain to you how this works. During a scam pump weekend, it's just up, 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 up. Now, what are the levels that I'm looking at? I talked about that yesterday. The level that I'm looking for FOMOC before they slam her down on FOMOC, and we're going to talk about that as well, is going to be this box here. All right, this box here. It's one thing when you look at the chart and you manipulate the information to fit your bias or to fit your projections, but it's one thing when I have been telling you guys, especially on this drop, if we don't come down and knock out that $51,500 area, we're going, excuse me, I think it was this drop here. This drop, if you look at the video of this day, and this day told you the same thing. If we don't come down and take the 5150, then we are setting up for a massive liquidation event. And that's exactly what the price action ended up doing. We never came down and knocked out that $51,500 zone that I've been talking about, and they are basically creating a massive liquidation event that will be coming. The day, I don't know the date. I'm not smart enough, but I'm smart enough to know based on a prior price action what's going to come in the near future. But for right now, I'm going to take advantage. From right now, I'm going to take advantage of these moves, what it's doing, how it's flushing out some of the late contracts that come in, the moves, the volatility that we have in the lower time frames. We're taking full advantage of that on my $25 a month Telegram channel. But for right now, for those who are not day traders or don't want to be day traders, they just want the swing trading information. This is what I'm looking for. Once we get above here, we're going to back test it here in the lower time frame with a 99.9% probability. Once we back test and we hold, which we should hold, the next area of resistance is going to be this one here that I talked about yesterday, $61,150. Well, it's 56, but just to round that up, $150. This is going to have a little bit of a resistance on the lower time frames, but it should quickly regain it and back test before going to this one here. Now, this one here is going to have a little bit of a drawdown, most likely, probably a 382 drawdown, but ultimately before Wednesday, we should be within inside of this box here. I'm going to extend this over just a tad bit here. Just a tad bit. I'm going to move this over here. So we should be within this box by Wednesday. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Many people already started posting that they feel like that things are going to top out around FOMOC and things are going to go down. So once again, guys, I'm going to give you an education on how the markets are moved. They're not moved because you're buying. They are moved because these guys are buying. The people who matter. You don't matter. All right, you listening to this video, you're a peasant. You don't matter. You don't have enough capital to move the market. These guys have enough capital to move the market. So it's a game between the whales and the market makers. All right. So as the whales try to outsmart the market and position themselves for a drawdown, the market makers are going to pull up and they're going to liquidate them. So it's not going to look obvious, but when you look back and you look at the signs, you're going to be like, I'll know for next time. And here's the thing. Next time happens, you won't know because you're so blinded by greed and by hopium that you don't see it. And let me point out those signs. It's the same exact fucking move every time, and yet you're still not going to catch it. You still won't catch it because you're too blinded by your greed. It's going to look like it's not going to go. They're going to pause it. They're going to put a double top. Then they're going to slam her down. They're going to make you think it's going to go up. They're going to double top it. Then they're going to slam her down. And most of these slam downs come with a signature move. Signature move is something that I coined that expression because it's a move that happens that's a very obvious move that always happens, which means they sweep the prior high. Sometimes they'll just double top it. So for instance, here, I think they might have put a signature move here. Let me show you real quick here. Look at that. Yeah, they did a signature move. It's not much. Look, it just swept this high and came down. Look at this one. Signature move. Swept the high and came crashing down. All right, let's go to the next one. There it is again. Signature move, and came crashing back down. Well, I can do this shit all fucking day. Nothing ever changes. But yet again, you won't catch it. Look, signature move, swept all the way down. Every single time we have a drawdown, it's the exact, look, signature move and drawdown. I can go back 12 years and nothing fucking changes. The only thing is that you guys are so blinded with greed and with emotions that you don't see what's right in front of you. It is so easy. And that's why people pay me $25 a month so that they don't have to see it. They don't have to worry about being blinded with their hopium and with their bias and with all the bullshit posts on Twitter. They can just say, oh, I'll just wait for BC to tell me short. That's it. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing. It's exactly what we do. While you're opening longs, we are going to be shorting on the most obvious moves that the market's going to give us. But I understand what is going to happen first. First, they're going to make it seem like, oh, not this time. We're going to break up higher. We're finally going to break that streak. No, we're not. Had we gone down to take out the $51,500 liquidity, I would say, yeah, there's a good probability that we are. But since we didn't, it shifts the probability. The probability is we are going to go, more than likely, the probability we're going to go down. Now, what's going to change my mind? It's easy. It's the easiest thing in the world. You can see it right here, what's going to change my mind. You can see it right here. It's the opposite of this. What's the opposite of this? The opposite of this is that we reclaim this. We don't break down. Maybe wicks are okay, but candle bodies will remain here. And on the lower time frame, we start putting in bullish market structure. That would be the only difference between this and all of these signature moves. But that's going to be unlikely because of that $51,500 target. Now, again, like I told you before, let me repeat myself, because many people are very ignorant. And they'll tell me, when we hit 5150, all right, BC, we hit your target. We should bounce to all-time high. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is, bare minimum, we're going to hit 51,500 with a possibility of going down to 49,000 or lower. I want you to write what I just said down, guys. I want you to write the timestamp, 17 minutes and 46 seconds, okay? Then, when it does happen, when we get to 51,500, I want you to read the comments that I'm going to get. I want you to read the comments so you can see, why is BC always calling people ignorant? Why is he always telling them they're fucking stupid? I want you to listen, please. I want you to read it so I can show you the stupidity that we have to deal with when we give out this type of information, because people will only listen to what they want to hear. They don't listen to the actual to the full picture. We don't know what's going to happen, but we know with a good probability what is going to happen. And again, invalidation, no problem. Can we invalidate it? Yes, but now you know what we're going to look for. You give me this invalidation and forget it. This is going to be the 10% that we don't go after that zone. Things are moving right now, guys. I'm going to have to cut this because I've got positions to get into, and I got to make sure that some of my limit orders do get filled, because I have limit orders to the downside, and sometimes I get front run, and I'm going to have to market buy some of those. So I'm going to have to cut this short. But for right now, what I want you to concentrate on, we're going to have a move into here by FOMOC. FOMOC is going to create a lot of people thinking they're smart in the market. They're going to short, and we're going to see a push higher. All right, we will see a push higher. So we'll have the FOMOC candle. We'll have a little bit of a dip. That's where everybody says, oh, I'm smart in the market. It'll be one of these here. And then a day or two, like here, just like this, we're going to slam down. Right here, here's where everybody thinks, oh, okay, we're going to go higher. Here's where it drops. And here's where people say, oh, no, here, it's going to keep on. This is it. I'm going to go ahead and go short. This is where the market comes up here and says, knocks you out. And then people say, oh, no, never mind. I was wrong. I'm going to go long, and they're going to bring it down. Just like here, it's going to top out. It's going to give you that fake out candle. It's going to then give that signature move and come right back down. Nothing is going to change. It's going to be the exact same behavior. Exact same behavior we're going to see here. And as I'm telling you this and I'm showing you this, you're still not going to get it. You still won't get it right. And I'm going to be walking you through that move on a daily basis. So you'll be able to see that move. I'm just not going to call out those short positions with you guys here, because that's not my job for you. That is not my job to tell you. That is my job to tell my Telegram and my Discord channel on what to look for. But at least I want to tell you ahead of time. So hopefully you can write down a reference and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to go back and listen to BC's Saturday, September 14th video and how he explained this. So on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you listen back to this video. I encourage you to do that. Fact check me. Say, BC's full of shit. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go on Wednesday. I'm going to listen to what happens. And I'm going to go Thursday and see what happens. Then I'm going to look at Friday and I'm going to see what happens. So please do that. Please fact check me and tell me that I'm full of shit. I encourage you. That's the only way you can really validate if you listen to somebody who knows what they're talking about. How can you validate somebody who knows what they're talking about if you don't go back and you fact check them? And how many people out there are telling you, asking you to prove them wrong, to fact check them? I'm not saying that I know what the market's going to do. I'm just telling you that I know what the typical behavior of what the market does, because the market doesn't change. It doesn't change what it does. You may think it does, but it really doesn't. And I just showed you an example of that. And I showed you an example of what happens when there is change, because things are not going to continue to go down and down and down and down for the next 20 years. We're going to eventually break out of this. We're going to eventually break out of this bull flag. This to me is a bull flag. We're going to break out of it. Eventually, we are going to climb above and go higher and go to all-time high. But before we do that, there's going to be certain characteristics and certain aspects that I'm looking for that I'm going to be playing because I'm a day trader. Everyone have a really good weekend, and I won't be doing a video for you guys tomorrow, but I will do. I'll be back on Monday, and I'll give you guys an update. And let's see on Monday where we are. Damn it, man! I knew we weren't going to go low enough. Fuck. All right, I'm going to have to let you guys go. So just remember that by next Wednesday, Monday, by Monday, we should be above here and above here by Monday. So let me do this. This is your guys' chart. I'm going to do here. I'm going to put this here. By Monday, we should be here or higher. Okay, so this is where I'm going to leave off so that on Monday when I do the video, we're going to start right here on the 4-hour time frame with this text, and this is where we were. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put this line here. I'm going to do this. Okay, and I'm going to do this here. I'm going to do this purple line. I'm going to make this thick here, and I'm going to type here. Ended stream here. So this is where we ended the stream today, and this is where I think we should be here by Monday, right inside here. Probably be in between one of these two. We should be in here. So let's see how well this plays out for our typical scam pump weekend. Everyone have a good day.